Hi, I'm Sam Brown, and you're watching Belch. Not a lot to talk about today. It's January 4th, 2015. I'm not sure. I'm not really keeping an accurate. I think I'm probably been doing this for about 6 days. Um, for any of you that are new and don't know what I'm talking about, um, what I'm referring to is changing my eating habits. My quote unquote diet uh, from the standard accepted low fat, high complex carb, or carbohydrate diet. The food pyramid. We've all seen it. We all grew up on it. Um, to a low carb um, uh, diet, ketogenic. Now, these all have different variations. Atkins is another one, South Beach diet. Probably a lot of these are familiar to you, or at least in name. Uh, so let's talk about today. I brought up, cravings. Cravings are especially initially on a low carb diet. It's going to be something you're going to deal with. Um, your body is going to crave sugar. Um, that gets pretty mild. I'm an ex-smoker. I have actually quit smoking about 3 years ago, um, which I actually put on about 100 pounds after quitting smoking. And that's another thing that has brought me to my current weight. That being said, you know, being an ex-smoker for 3 years now, what I experience when I see someone smoking on TV or I see someone smoking in public um, is what I would equate the feelings, um, the cravings, that I experience. Um, I don't want you to think like when you first quit smoking. Um, cravings, especially if you go cold turkey or if you use the nicotine replacement. The cravings can be intense. You can't think about anything else. Um, where I'm at now, 3 years down the road, with smoking is, I see it and I go, oh yeah, I remember smoking. I used to enjoy that, and then I move on. It's a very fleeting thought process. There's no internal struggle. And that is similar to what I experience on a daily basis at different times during the day, um, with regard to craving carbohydrates. It's very fleeting. Uh, it, you know, Sometimes a small snack, get rid of it almost instantly, and quite often it passes without even having anything to eat. Um, what else? Um, Unlike, I will point out one thing. This is something definitely that I'm noticing. When I ate a diet that primarily was carbohydrate based, protein and some fat, whatever. Um, Quite often, I didn't get the sensation of actually being hungry. My stomach didn't growl, 5, 6 hours after eating before, regardless of how much I ate. My stomach didn't growl. It didn't feel empty. I didn't have that stomach feel, that's associated with hunger. Now there's the whole psychological craving. I'm hungry. That's totally different than that. But the physiological sensation of hunger, I didn't have when I ate low carb. Now, or when I ate low fat, primarily a carbohydrate based diet. Now that I've been on the low carb diet for um, almost a week now, by the time mealtime rolls around, Say I eat, say 7 o'clock in the morning. Um, by the time noontime rolls around, I actually have the sensation, the physical sensation of hunger. Um, Now that's not to be confused with, the cravings can, I would relate those more to blood glucose levels, energy needs, things like that tend to trigger the psychological craving for food, whereas the physiological sensation that we equate with hunger um, comes from the stomach being empty. Everything that was in the stomach has left and moved into the small intestine. Um, so it doesn't, if you ate a lot, if you ate a large meal, um, you would feel more hungry by the time your next meal rolled around because the stomach would have been stretched out by the large meal, um, leading to that shrinking or hungry feeling sooner. Any competitive eater will tell you that you don't go without eating before a competition. They tend to drink large volumes of water. It keeps the stomach stretched out, and it gives them that sensation of hunger and that ravenous sensation when the competition commences. Um, what else? I think that's about it. Once again, the cravings, still using, still exercising on the exercise bike. Um, the the cravings I was experiencing, I still do tend to crave more at night and after exercise, but overall, all the cravings are diminishing in severity. So it's not like you're gonna be hungry forever. It's not like you're gonna constantly be thinking of food every waking moment. Um, well, I kind of wanted to. I've done this actually in one or two other videos. I want to call this the food for thought section, where I can offer what little suggestions I might have when it comes to what to eat or food. By cutting out carbohydrates, especially anything with a lot of sugar or even the complex carbohydrates, the starches and stuff like that. It can limit your variety quite a little bit, especially if you're not into green leafy vegetables. I personally love green leafy vegetables, always have, love salads. Um, that's never been the issue. I love vegetables. The few vegetables I really don't like are actually the sweet starches. Um, the squashes and the sweet potatoes are the things that I've never really cared for. Now I don't eat them. So you can find yourself eating meat. The goal of a low carb diet, not only in limiting the amount of carbohydrates that you take in, is also to the bulk of your calories to come from fat and not protein. The body will burn carbohydrates and fat very effectively. Protein is a different process. Um, so you might get sick of the eggs, you might get sick of the bacon, sausage, steaks, whatever. Something that I did and what I actually did today for supper is I had a baked chicken the other night, so I took that, I made that into a stock. Took the carcass, boiled it, took all the bones out, left the meat, um, and didn't try to skim off the fat. Added some onions, some celery, basil, fennel seed, salt, pepper to taste, a little crushed red pepper, and I made that into a nice broth. I took the onions out when I actually went to go eat it because they're high on the glycemic index, but I left in the celery, I left in all the meat. So just something, and that was a very satisfying meal. As always, feel free to like, share, and comment. All that I ask is that you be polite and respectful when you comment and respond. None of us have all the answers, and I thank you very much.